Hi again. My name is Yvette. I'm with Linda at neartozero.com and also on Instagram at Moms Talk Trash. And I am here today to talk to you guys about lesson number 4 in our series, Learning from COVID-19 to Create a More Sustainable Life. Today we're going to talk about making your DIY low waste. And really, it's all because I think so many of us who've been stuck at home have become some DIYers. Not everybody, but I think a lot of us are dabbling in a few different things that maybe we weren't when we were out, maybe working or had activities outside the home. Now we have a lot more time at home or have had during this quarantine period. So today we're going to be talking about and reflecting on the sustainability of the things that you have been making at home. What has that been like? Has that been good for your low waste journey or maybe not so great? And then we'll dive into a little bit of the understanding of how to make your DIY fit into your low waste journey with a few tips and tricks. So COVID-19 DIYing and crafting has gone kind of all over the place. People are baking their own bread and maybe have started new hobbies, knitting or woodworking, crafting. I know I've dabbled in a few things, and some of them are really great and useful. It might be lasting hobbies that you continue after this period, and others we may see that the materials that we're using are actually not great for the environment and maybe not so low waste once we actually take a look at them. So what are some common DIY and crafting materials? Paper is huge, right? So I know with my kids, we use a lot of construction paper. We use worksheets and everything under the sun, right, that we can think of. So we're going to talk about how we can maybe use a different kind of paper that might be more sustainable. Microplastics. So I don't know about you, but glitter, I love sparkly things, but glitter kind of irritates me and annoys me. Not only does it get everywhere, it's impossible to pick up. Also, I've recently learned that really glitter is just a ton of microplastic that's actually really terrible for the environment. It gets into our water system. It just seeps the microplastic toxins into our water, into the fish, and then we eventually eat. So it's that cycle that we talk about when we think about our environmental health. And of course, paint. So depending on the kind of paint you're using, some paints may be more toxic for the environment and for our health than others. So it's good to be aware of that. And then just in general, I know we talked about microplastics, but just plastic in general. There's a lot of plastic beading and stickers and plastic containers that our crafting materials come in. So just some things to start looking out for. Of course, this is only a few of the many different crafting things that could be used. There's yarn. If you think about acrylic yarn instead of wool yarn or a natural fiber, that could be used a little bit more sustainably. There's so many different things. So just a few things to start getting your wheels turning around thinking about what is in that DIY material. What am I picking up maybe at the craft store once you can finally go back to it? Or what am I using at home that might be a more sustainable option? So something that I wanted to share with you guys that I think a lot of people have actually been doing or relying on friends to do for them is making some masks. And I found a bunch of old t-shirts that were in my clothes bins for my kids in the garage. And I found some t-shirts when this all first started and everybody was talking about wearing masks, and the PEP shortage for doctors and nurses and hospitals was a really big deal. I scavenged my garage and found some really great and super cute prints on my son's old t-shirts that he no longer wears, don't fit him anymore. And I pulled them out and made masks out of them. And it was such a great repurpose of something old that will now have a new life. And I thought that was a really great example of a way that we can take a look around. This was born out of necessity and need. I couldn't actually go to the store to buy new fabric, buy new material. And even the elastic that I used for the masks was repurposed from old actually party masks and party hats, as well as an old fitted sheet, because as you guys may know, the elastic was so hard to come by. Things may have changed now that things are a little bit more available. But when we find ourselves in a situation where there is scarcity, and the availability of things and the convenience to find things is not what we're used to, we're forced into creative, new ways of doing things. And hopefully those new ways are contributing to your low waste lifestyle, and good for the environment. So a few other things that I thought would be good to share, just how we can think about reusing and maybe even repairing things that we already have when we're thinking about our next craft project. One thing that I love to think about is repurposed wood. And here I have a photo of pallets, and just thinking about something that has been used for a different purpose that can be given a new life. Instead of it going to a landfill or being tossed as junk, uh, giving it a new life and in something that you can use. I have a great friend who is always inspiring me with her good ideas. And she took a bunch of old repurposed the wood and built a greenhouse, built a bunch of really amazing decorations for her backyard. And it looks gorgeous. And it was all free, first of all, and low waste. The other are egg cartons. So egg cartons are great. You can compost them if you're into composting, or you can also use them for different craft projects or even starting seedlings. So a little bit off the crafting and DIY path, but it is a really great resource instead of throwing it away. Of course, I hope you're buying your eggs in these paper cartons instead of the plastic. It's such a better choice for the environment, and then you can reuse them in so many different ways. Same thing goes for toilet paper rolls. If you guys are hopefully stocked with toilet paper in your house and weren't victim to the shortage, you can use the toilet paper rolls for so many different purposes. We recently just made some binoculars for my son to play with as night vision goggles, and he's super into them. There's a bunch of different things that you can repurpose this cardboard for, and again, just another thing less in the trash. Recently too, we talked about our grocery shopping a few lessons ago. And one thing that's changed for my grocery shopping is that our stores aren't allowing us to use our reusable bags anymore. So I've been bringing home a lot of these grocery paper bags, and I have been reusing them for different DIY things, different art projects for my kids. We've been painting on them. We've been using them in different ways. You can cut them up. Instead of having to buy construction paper, you can use the paper that stored your groceries for you. And of course, we talked about the old t-shirts. Sheets are a really great thing as well. If you need fabric and material, if you have old sheets lying around, repurposing and cutting those up is a great way to go. And of course, if you have that fitted sheet, don't forget that the elastic can be given a new life as well. Recycled paper. So if you do want to go out and buy paper, maybe even for your printer, whatever it is, using and thinking about, is that paper recycled, or is it new? Have trees been cut down to create that paper, or has that paper already been given a new life? Even if you are buying it, it's a better choice. And then I love also just finding things in nature, rocks and leaves, different things that you find, branches. There's so much great things that you can do with things that are already found in nature. And of course, there's so many different crafting hobbies that you might be picking up. If you're picking up a jewelry making hobby, thinking about where those materials are coming from, where they're sourced, are they sustainably sourced? Are they a natural material that will decompose within a short period of time? Or is it something that is contributing more synthetic fibers and synthetic material to the environment that will eventually end up in a landfill? And just being a little bit more conscious about those decisions. Just wanted to end with a quick tip for you guys, something that we did already mention and I already brought up, but I love thinking about how to buy used in order to repurpose. So one great tip that I have is that so many people who either have warehouses or stores have an excess of wood pallets laying around, and they literally just give these away for free. And if you go onto Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and you type in pallets, if you have a wood project that you want to undertake, then I highly recommend trying to seek out these free pallets, because not only then do you get great a great piece of wood for absolutely nothing, maybe just whatever it costs you to go and gas to pick it up, but you're also giving it a new life. So that's all we have for today. Thank you guys so much, and see you next time. Bye.